She was like, why did you say that? And it's just like, oh, I forgot
It's like,
I was doing that
wait.
and whatever.
Hey, it's your girl, Emily Curl with iHeartRadio, and today we're hanging out with R&B singer, songwriter, and iHeartRadio's On the Verge artist. We have Sebastian Mikael here with us. Sebastian, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, before we dive in, we have to talk about this outfit. I've been looking at it. It's amazing. I love the hat. I love the jacket. And one thing I really admired about you as I prepped for this interview is you have such killer style. Has that always been a part of you and your artistry?
Yeah, that definitely always went hand in hand, you know. I feel like I make music the way I dress. It really kind of represents me and you know, just to me it's not about being trendy or trying to show off or flex or anything like that. It's really about just having your own individual style and just expressing yourself in that sense. So with my music, I look at it the same way, where I want to be authentic and I want to be myself in everything I do. So
Sebastian, this is our first time meeting, so I want to take it back a little bit. So you were born in Sweden and raised in Boston, right?
Yeah.
What was the music scene like growing up in Boston?
Back then it was like limited. A lot of people didn't know about the Boston scene and, you know, what type of, like, just the art scene in general. Like, I feel like a lot of people kind of just looked at Boston like a sports city. Like, you know,
I could see that.
They really didn't acknowledge the art scene and the type of artists coming out. So that's why, you know, for me it was special, because when I came out, or when I started doing it, I started linking with a lot of people that I was cool with, and, you know, they started doing music too. And it's dope to see a lot of people are actually doing great right now. It was dope, you know. I feel like in this generation, we were kind of like the first wave. What
was the first concert that you went to that you remember being like, okay, I want that to be me one day. That's where I see myself. Did you have a light bulb moment?
I did. I performed at a venue called the Middle East, and that was like a pinnacle. Like, that was one of the venues that, you know, you wanted to get to. Like, that was like the hub, or like the Mecca for all colleges. Like, anytime somebody came through, it was either the Middle East or it was paradise. For us, it was like, if we get to perform at the Middle East, like, we made it, low-key, you know? So the first time I did a show, we actually packed it out. I was like in shock. That was like one of those moments for me where I knew, like, okay, I want to keep doing this.
I can imagine that's also a nerve-wracking moment, especially if you know a lot of the people in the crowd. How do you prepare for like a show like that? And do you still keep some of those rituals now?
I do. You know, just try not to be too nervous, but you gotta have some nerves, because it's just gonna keep you on your toes a little bit. You don't want to be too nervous, you know.
But how do you calm the nerves if you have them?
I think for me, it's all about practicing. The more you practice, the less nervous you're gonna feel. Because now, you know, when it comes to my shows, like, I'm more, you know, I care more about the details. Like, I make sure that the lighting is on point. I want to make sure that
it's got to be a right mood.
Everything got to be right. So I feel like now I actually get more nervous because of all the other things. But
so you're less nervous about yourself, more the other factors.
Yeah, the other factors, like, is the sound guy gonna keep, you know, our sound check levels? Like, is everything gonna be, you know what I mean? It's just so many things that you care about.
I want to talk about your artistry too for a second, because like anything in the world worth doing, it takes time to really find your voice and find your sound. And especially for you, what was the process like where you're like, okay, this is Sebastian Mikael, this feels the most like me, and this is how I developed my sound and my brand. What did that look like for you? What journey was that?
For me, it's just been a long journey. Ironically, I'm creating the music that I first started doing, but I stopped doing it because I felt like it wasn't a market for that. There was no market for like neo soul. Well, I didn't even want to call it neo soul, but like alternative soul music and, you know, more like funk and stuff like that. Was trying to fit in different groups and different genres of music, while I knew it wasn't like natural for me. I really just wanted to be myself and create the shit that I loved and be passionate about it, you know? And so that's what I'm making now.
Do you feel the most yourself now in what you're creating?
Definitely.
And now I want to go back to your background for a second, because your father is Swedish and your mother is Ethiopian.
Yeah.
How did those two cultures influence you and your artistry?
I don't know. I think both of my parents are, music lovers. Like, they love playing different styles of music at home. So I think that was a big thing for me. I don't know. It's interesting because for me, I feel like I had a normal childhood. Like, I don't know how other people had it. So for me, it's like normal. Like, I never know how to answer that question, really.
Does your family, do they love your music? Have they been to some shows?
They have, yeah. They've been, they like the music. They get hyped at certain artists that they look up to. It's like finding out who I am, and they support from a distance, which is cool.
Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Time the Remix. It's so good. What made you want to remix the song?
Why not? It's like one of those songs that a lot of people liked it, and Kirby is somebody that we have a lot of mutual friends. Musically, I feel like she's up my alley. She's doing the type of things that that I make. She record on tape a lot, which was like the first thing that I heard from her, which for me, automatically I'm gonna be like, wow, that's so different. A lot of people, people don't record on tape anymore. Like, that's like, you gotta be a skilled singer in order for you to just do everything on tape. So just hearing her EP, I just became like an instant fan, and we happened to be on the same label, so we just made it happen. Yeah.
And now what about Exit, another one of my favorites of yours? What was the inspiration behind this one?
Inspiration behind that was going through a breakup and being really down about that, and feeling like I didn't want it to end, but I wanted to work on myself. And sometimes like relationships can get toxic, and you kind of need to step away to work on yourself, because a lot of the times it's not one person, it's the relationship is just toxic. It's just both people like putting in, you know what I mean? Like, that was the inspiration behind it.
That hits me deep. Now I want to go back and re-listen to it now, knowing this perspective.
Yeah, that song really is really personal. And me and my girl, we're actually back together. So listening to it now, it's like, I kind of cringe because I feel like it's too on point.
Ooh, what does she think of the song?
She's like, understand. Like, it's funny because like a lot of the things she didn't really understand. She was like, "Why did you say that?" And she's like, "Oh, I forgot.
It's like,
I was doing that and whatever." So there's like certain details that she's like getting hip to now. Like, "Oh wow, I never knew you said that."
Are you gonna have to write some love songs to make up for that now?
Time was the love song. They already made up for it.
I love it. I love it. So Sebastian, as we look to 2021, what else can we look forward from you this year?
Hopefully I can start doing shows. That's the one thing that I really miss. I'm putting out an EP that's like almost done.
Oh, it's exciting. Do we have a date for that yet, or still TBD?
We don't have a set date for that, but they're waiting pretty much. I'm just putting the final touches and making sure everything is the way I want it as soon as possible.
We can't wait for that. Sebastian, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being here.
Likewise.
And for being our first shoot back in the office. We're going to remember this one, okay?
Yes.
And next time, I want to see you here on the stage performing for our iHeart family.
Say less.
But again, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you again very soon. Thanks so much for watching our interview with Sebastian Mikael. Make sure you stream all his music on iHeartRadio, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.